This video is presented by EA Game Changers. Hey hands, how we all diddly doing? How's everybody holding up? How's everybody enjoying the new content from the new expansion pack? New. I don't know if you know, I have a save file. A save file is basically, you take every single lot in The Sims 4 and then you renovate it and then you can play with my save file. So I've got one of them. And obviously this expansion pack comes with a new world. So with that, there is more builds for me to do. So I've got some build content for everybody. So let's jump on into the video. So the first build that we have is this container home. Hey Hennies, I've had a couple of questions and I just want to say before we get into the build. This jessemcnamarax is on the screen because for Sims Camp we had a different version of the game and I had this constantly flying over the screen. I'm not in fact a raging narcissist and I haven't put that over myself so nobody else steals my content. This is EA's doing, not mine. So the first build that we have is this container home, which Henny, I had to pick this one as the first build because I looked at it and I thought, I don't think EA have ever seen a container home because, I mean, Henny, these just aren't the sizes of container homes. Am I the idiot in this situation, or am I looking at these and thinking, I don't quite think that they match? Sizes are a little bit off. It's something just, I don't know, it just wasn't sitting right with me, the fact that these container homes weren't equally the same size. Because if you look at the containers that are around this kind of thing, like the containers in the corner, they're all exactly the same size. And then you got this. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's bold, and I appreciate it for being bold. It takes some courage to be next to some actual containers and not look a thing like them, like, go girl, give us everything that we never wanted. But I thought I'd edit this one, and it's still more of a renovation, but I'd actually make it fit in with the things that are around it. Because that's one of my favourite things to do with my save file, is kind of make the worlds look cohesive. Because sometimes EA just need to pick up a dictionary sometimes, maybe. But EA don't pick up a dictionary, EA pick up a thesaurus instead. You know, sometimes you add 3 and 3 and get 7. So I'm here to save the day. I'm not the best builder in the world, by the way. I just really enjoy it. It's a very fun process for me. So if there's anything that you've seen and you're like, Henny, I don't like the look of that, you don't have to, loves. I'm not asking you to. I'm just showing you my process, and that's that. So I did want to kind of go with a red and yellow theme, not because I'm a Gryffindor, but I mean kind of because I'm a Gryffindor. Let's not lie, Henny. That might have been my main motive. But also I just kind of, I liked the vibe of it. But one thing that I did run into in terms of difficulty, because this build was actually my first experience of the pack. So I loaded this game up and straight went into renovating this build, because for my gameplay and stuff like that, I wanted to actually, you know, live in a decent house and stuff. So this is the first build that I picked to go with. But straight off the bat, I kind of noticed that some of the swatches weren't really all that matching. So we have the industrial roof, but then the walls didn't really fit with it. It could have been just an error on my part, but honestly I couldn't find the summer matching swatches, so that made it kind of difficult, and I think that's mainly why I stuck with the red and orange theme. I changed it to orange. Yeah, so I would have definitely liked to have seen just fully matching swatches, but this has been an issue that has kind of been in The Sims 4 since the get-go, because we don't have creator style. And honestly, my opinion on that is I am fine not having creator style. Sometimes I think too much creativity and too much freedom can be a bit of a ball ache, to be honest. Without having creator style, we definitely need matching swatches, because it just, what's the point, you know? It just kind of, it made the building process a bit more difficult when just a couple of different matching swatches would have changed the game and allowed me to be more creative. But the build and buy mode items are very, very, very good. I did really enjoy building with them. Definitely this is up my alley. Like, I would love to just live in someone's back garden in a container home, not in a creepy way, but like just in a, you know, a thrifty way, if you will. I've said it before, I've said it like a million times, I love like tiny homes and tiny living and making useful spaces out of small spaces, if you know what I mean. Like, start homes are actually my favourite thing to play in. I find it quite daunting when I actually, you know, my sim becomes rich, because it's very easy to become rich in The Sims 4, and then that they're in a massive house. I'm like, I don't enjoy this. Could that be because at one point my family had 8 Sims? My family had 8 people living in a bungalow? Perhaps. But I just like small spaces. Small spaces feel comfortable to me. But it also could be because there's not one bit of Tory blood running through my body, loves. If you are a Tory, that's completely fine. It just could never be me. Stuff like this lends itself very well to places like Newcrest, which, not to throw any shade, but Newcrest for me is a bit of, I keep saying the word ball ache, but Newcrest for me is a bit of a ball ache, because every time you start a new game, you've got an empty world. I would like to see the option to have it not empty. I'd like to see an update, but maybe not with the Sims 4 houses, actually. So if you do want an update in Newcrest, I have a save file. Little Simsy's got a save file. I think Simlicey's got a save file. Avelin's got a save file. There's so many options to fill up Newcrest, but this kind of thing, it'd be really good, because there's lots of small spaces in Newcrest as well, so you could build some container homes there. The new build and buy mode items really help shine with this pack. It really complements this kind of industrial renovation build. Does it scream of gentrification? In some aspects, in other aspects, no, not so much, because this is less, it's just building a house out of a container home. So this one, not necessarily gentrification. So yeah, I think I ran into some issues as well in terms of swatches matching like the planter pots and also the outdoor furniture. There was some kind of, it wasn't 100% matching, which did kind of boil my piss a little bit, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it kind of worked in the end. My original intention with this house as well was to have it as a full family home. I don't think that idea came to fruition, loves. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm sorry to say, I'm sorry to this man, but I kind of fell into the EA trap of just a young millennial home, just because it was easy to build. There is still some really nice kid stuff in this pack, and I do have some other builds coming up. I have a build where it's like, I kind of took one of the builds that are actually in the world, the ones that are supposed to just be like your normal working class homes, and I actually made it into a normal working class home. So take some tips from me if you want to hear. Don't hire me though, honestly, because I don't think I could hack being hired by EA. I'm just going to say that now. I think before I speak kind of thing, and I'm fully a Gryffindor at heart. But yeah, so I have that kind of build, and I had a lot of fun with that build as well. Like I said, that build, much like this one, I really focused on making it actually blend into the world and make it look realistic and give you just kind of a realistic experience of the gameplay. And then I have a build where I take this industrial lot and then turn it into a kids play area, because what's my one complaint with The Sims 4? Babies, children, toddlers don't have rights. Shocking. In the 21st century, some world we live in. They're all the builds that I have done for this already. I will also be streaming loads of builds on Twitch and renovating loads of stuff on Twitch as well, so you can follow me on Twitch if you want to. It's just twitch.tv/Plumbella, but also it's completely fine if not. Let me know actually if you want me to take the builds that I make on there and turn them into a speed build for my YouTube channel, because I've started doing that a lot lately, because a lot of you can't catch the streams or just simply don't want to catch the streams, and that's completely fine because it do be a different experience. Also, big fat complaint right now. I mean, I did really enjoy building with this pack and it's not all complaints, but there's no kitchen counters or anything, and also these base game kitchen counters don't have matching overhead cupboards. I never think, the name never springs to mind of what they're actually called, but yeah, so I had to go with this kind of dark modern look, which is darker than I wanted to go. But honestly, like, am I being petty? Yes, but also with an expansion pack, is it petty to expect kitchen counters? I don't think so. We had it with the stuff pack one time, and I know that they take a lot of resources, but you're a multi-billion-dollar company, so literally, what's a couple of resources? And EA, give the Sims team more funding because we need to see counters. Sorry, that's my rant for the day over and done with. I feel much better after that one. My skin is glowing, my acne is gone, and my social anxiety is pretty much cured, Henny. So that felt very, very nice to say. But yeah, no, stuff like that, I'm like, step the game up. I also, honestly, I was a bit iffy about the new doors and stuff like that we have, because they are very industrial and they are very modern, and I don't know if you've ever watched any of my videos before, but modern terrifies me. I can't build it, I don't know, there's so much lines and stuff, and I'm more of a curvy kind of girl, I prefer, like, maybe just an angled Tudor roof, if you will. But actually, I think they work very, very well in this context, like with the popping out of the container home door. I think it looks absolutely beautiful, Henny. And overall, I think I made this build actually blend into the rest of the world, which was, honestly, in this essay, I will attempt to make EA's builds look like they belong in the game. And in conclusion, I do think that I managed to do that. I almost forgot to put the toilet in, which kind of on brand for me. I do be forgetting bins and I do be forgetting toilets a lot of the time, but the new bathroom stuff, it could potentially be my favourite bathroom stuff of all time. We've also got some new curtains, which I kind of like the style of, but also kind of basic, boring bitch. We've had the same curtains, different texture on it for a long time now. I want to see things being switched up EA, so if you want my full review of this pack, you can go watch my full review of this pack. I'm assuming it's going to be out before this video. Maybe not. Oh, I'm jingle jangling. Oh, can you hear that? I'm a musical bitch. But yeah, overall, I did really enjoy this build. This build is definitely, like, even though I'm not 100% a modern bitch, this build is still up my alley. I do still be enjoying this build. I do have my critiques as well, but what's a Plumbella video without constructive criticism, So that's everything that I have for you today. Oof, sorry, I'll turn the microphone down for that bit. So that's everything that I have for you today. I did, honestly, I know I gave a lot of critiques in this video, but it's just because I really care about this game and I want it to be the best that it can be. And as a game changer, it's kind of my job to be like, this is the things that I liked, this is the things that could definitely be improved upon. But overall, really enjoyed this build. I love a container home. I'd be living in that, don't get me wrong. Also, the ladders are pretty cool. I didn't mention that once throughout the entire video, but they're a base game update. Anyway, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.